Okay, hey there guys. This is going to be a quick demonstration video for your elastic collision simulation lab. This is the lab. So I'm going to go ahead and read through some of the instructions, and then I'll do things on the actual simulator um, as, as I'm explaining them. To complete this lab, you're going to use the PhET collision simulator. Follow this link. So I'm going to type this link in right now. Um, I'm going to type that into my browser. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to Safari, and the link is bit.ly/collision PhET. You guys have seen, I've been to it before. Okay, let's full screen that. Okay, so what you should see pop up is something that looks like this. Now, I'm going to kind of explain what's going on, and you guys should get the gist of how you're going to use this thing. So let's go back to our sheet here. So now it says the first thing you need to do is click the More Data button at the bottom of the page. So I'm going to go ahead and go do that. I'm going to click More Data. So you'll see that on less data, it just shows these kind of sliders here. And I need to be more specific than the sliders, so I want to see more data. Notice what they give me. They give me mass, so that's the mass of ball 1 and the mass of ball 2. They give me position. Now, position we're going to see isn't that important so we're not going to change it. As long as ball 1 starts over here, ball 2 starts over here, it really doesn't matter that much. So we're not going to mess with position. Velocity we will change because we're going to change how fast things are going at the beginning. So notice that right now ball 1 is going to start with a velocity of 1, while ball 2 has a velocity of 0, so it's just sitting still. Now the important thing you're going to see here is that it tells you momentum over here. So if I were to change this to say 1, notice that now momentum changes. If I change it to 2, momentum changes. All it's doing is it's multiplying mass times velocity and giving me that number here. So let's change that back to 0.5. Okay, let's go back and let's look at our sheet again. So we did number 1. Now, number 2 says, for each trial, you will set the mass and the velocity of each ball to match the information in the table. So let's go down here to trial number 1 now. And notice that I gave you mass and I gave you velocity for each of the balls. Okay, so I've got ball 1, and I've got ball 2, and I've got mass and velocity. So what I want to go look at is on my simulator, there we go, do these match? So ball 1 should be 0.5, and look at that, I've got 0.5. Velocity for ball 1 should be 1, so that's already correct. Mass for ball 2 should be 0.5, so let's change that to 0.5. Now they're the same size. And then velocity should be 0, and that's already 0. So I'm good to go now. So let's go back here. Of course it does that. So here's an important thing. So number 3. So we've done 1, we've done 2. Number 3 says before you hit play, record the pre-collision momentum in the table. So I'm looking at this column here, and I want to fill in momentums in both of those spots. So what I have to do is I'm going to have to go to the simulator, and I'm going to have to read the momentum off and put it in those boxes. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to see, okay, I've got a momentum of 0.5 and 0. So I just go back over here, and I'm going to put in that momentum of 0.5 and 0. Okay, good. So I've got my pre-collision momentum for both of those. Now, the next thing that it tells me to do, so I've got pre-collision momentum. It says add together. Here, so number 3 is done. Number 4 says add together the momentums of the two balls and put your answer in the momentum of systems box. So all I'm doing is I'm going to take 0.5 plus 0, plus, there we go, and I'm going to get 0.5. I'll make it 0.5. That kind of looks nicer. 0.5. Okay, so I'm just adding the two together. That's all. We're gonna end up doing the same thing over here for post-collision momentum, but that's not yet. All right, so number 4, check. We added the two together. You're going to do this for every one of your trials, guys. Next, we hit play. So let's do it. Hit play. Boom. Okay. Now, look at what happened. My momentum changed. So my velocity changed also. So ball 1 used to have a velocity of 1 and a momentum of 0.5. Now ball 2 has a velocity of 1 and a momentum of 0.5. So I'm going to go back to my table, and you'll see that number 6 says after the balls have collided. So we did number 5. Number 6 says after the balls have collided, record the post-collision momentum for each ball and then calculate the momentum of systems. So if we remember on this thing, my momentums are now 0 and 0.5. So I'm going to fill in here 0 and 0.5. Now, same thing as before. I'm just going to add those two together, and I'm going to get 0.5. Now, not everyone will look exactly like this, so not every example will they just flip-flop the way they did. But it's interesting that these two ended up the same. So I'm going to be interested to see if in other examples you get this same result where the total momentum or the momentum of the system ends up the same. Okay, so what you guys are going to do now, you're going to go run the simulation 4 more times. So you're going to do trial 2, where you're going to put in these masses and velocities. Trial 3 are different masses and velocities. Trial 4 is yet one more. Now, trial 5 and 6, those are your choice. So you get to make up, okay, so make this up. So if you want to make one of them huge and one of them tiny or one of them goes super, super fast, that's all okay. Make it up, do whatever you want, and you're going to make this one up also. Make sure that on trial 5 and 6, we're still recording momentums. We're still calculating the momentum of the system because we want to see if the pattern stays consistent, and then answer your 3 questions, and you guys will be done. All right, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching.